Now, something really serious, meanwhile, is also happening in China. There is a run to the supermarkets. People are fighting for food. There is panic buying. Army biscuits and luncheon meats have become the most searched items online. Rice, soy sauce, chili sauce and noodles are trending on Alibaba. The top search on an engine reads, household stockpile list. Guess what's happening here? The Chinese are stocking up. They're buying cabbages, rice, sauce. Vendors are running out of stock. Begs the question, why? Why are people fighting for ration? Is China running out of food, or is there something worse in store? The government of Xi Jinping encouraged people to stock up. The Ministry of Commerce issued a notice on the 1st of November. And here is the notice on your screen. It asks local authorities to ensure there are enough supplies so that people can stock up. Let me read out some portions from this notice. This is what it says. The notice requires that all localities support and encourage large agricultural product circulation companies to sign long-term supply and marketing agreements. Storage-resistant vegetables should be purchased in advance, and the supply of goods should be locked in order to prepare local dishes and customer dishes. It goes on to say, and I'm quoting again, encourage families to store a certain amount of daily necessities as needed to meet the needs of daily life and emergencies. Strengthen the construction of emergency delivery networks. It does not say why. Why do the people of China need to stock up for an emergency? The government says winter or emergencies. Most countries experience winter, by the way. No country is free from the risk of an emergency. But governments do not ask citizens to stock up. Quite the opposite. Most governments advise against stocking up or hoarding. But China likes being an exception, and not in a good way. And we like to dig up the details. So let's try and find out why China is asking its citizens to stock up. Is there a food crisis? Is there a chance of a nationwide lockdown? Is China expecting tension with Taiwan to blow up? Or is the Met Office predicting an extreme harsh winter? China maintains it is not running out of supplies. A Commerce Ministry official told state broadcaster CCTV, and I'm quoting again, the supply of necessities, daily necessities, is sufficient everywhere and the supply should be fully guaranteed. Well, this does not say very much, because when it's China, you do not take the government's word for it. That's the mantra. The truth is, vegetable prices are soaring in China. In many cases, they have become dearer than meat. Vegetables costing more than meat. Reports in Beijing, vegetable prices are up at least 50%. Why is that? Heavy rains have hit the agricultural province of Shandong. Crops have been ruined, supply chains have been disrupted, and now prices are soaring. Does that mean the stock-up notice has nothing to do with the Wuhan virus? Well, one could hope. Except there is already a buzz in Chinese media about a potential lockdown. We know that the global ridicule has forced China to adopt what they call a zero-COVID policy. And right now, Wuhan virus numbers in China are far from zero. China is in the middle of a Delta outbreak. Daily infections have touched a 3-month high. Several Chinese cities are under lockdown. Beijing has recorded its highest daily infection for the year. What are the chances that China will call for a nationwide lockdown? Here's what the state-run Economic Daily says. The notice to stock up was meant to prepare people for a potential quarantine. What about tensions with Taiwan then? Does that have something to do with this notice to stock up for an emergency? There's a lot happening on that front, and we'll talk about that later in detail on the show. But for now, remember that if it does come to a China versus Taiwan situation, Beijing will find itself globally isolated with its supply chains cut. So that is a worry. And finally, the cold snap. The fear of that too is real. Reports say temperature in some parts of China is expected to fall by as much as 15 degrees this week. That will make communication and transportation difficult, and prices of vegetables will once again go up. So I could tell you that the reason China is asking people to stock up is all of these: vegetable shortage, Wuhan virus, Taiwan, and an approaching winter. But that will be just half the answer. Something worse seems to be in store, and I'm afraid I cannot point to it just yet, but I will tell you why I think so. It is unlike China to push a panic button on food security, because food is a very, very touchy issue in China. In the 1950s and 60s, the country lost tens of millions of people to the Great Famine. The tragedy still haunts China, and Xi Jinping knows this all too well. Not too long ago, Beijing asked people to be frugal while ordering at a restaurant. It even asked people to report restaurants that waste food. It is very unlike the Chinese Communist Party to push the panic button on food security, especially at a time like this. It is very unlike the CCP to risk its position by sending any sort of signal that can be read as a food emergency in China. Consider this: China never asked its citizens to stock up, even when it put millions under a lockdown in 2020. No stock up notices were issued in Wuhan, none in Hubei. So why are they being issued now? And that too repeatedly. In October, the province of Jiangsu issued a list of supplies that people should be stocking, like instant noodles, bottled water, compressed biscuits, and luncheon meat. And this list has now resurfaced on social media, and that explains the fight over compressed military biscuits and the trending luncheon meat. But what it doesn't answer is what really is cooking in China, and what is it that China is hiding from the world this time? Why is it asking its people to buy in bulk? Why is China encouraging panic buying? We'll let you know as soon as we know. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.